Freed Hardeman is going to be in their all-white uniforms. They will go left to right across your radio dial in this first half. And Langston in the orange uniforms. They have got the navy numbers, navy trim. They will go right to left across your radio dial. Langston wins the opening tip. And here come the Lions from Langston, Oklahoma. Dribble drive left side. Trey Clark dumps off on the baseline. Omar Henry reverse layup is good. Junior from St. Louis, Missouri, and now a whistle for the shot clock. But Omar Henry is a New Orleans University transfer, a D1 product that has found his way onto Langston's roster. Extended break as we take care of the shot clock. 19:39 just underway in Municipal Auditorium. We were buttoned up, ready to go, everyone but the shot clock operator. So now they will send the teams to their respective benches as they address that, but I can quickly give you the starting lineups for both teams. Langston 29-7 this year out of the Sooner Athletic Conference. They finished second in the Sooner Athletic Conference. They didn't even win their tournament. That's why they got the 4 seed, even though they were a nationally ranked team in the top 10 for much of the season. They're starting 5 tonight. Orlando Thomas, a 6'2 senior from Chicago, a Quincy University transfer. That's a D2 school. Antonio Lewis in the backcourt alongside him, 6'2 senior from New Orleans, Louisiana. Trey Clark is a 6'6 junior inside from Queens, New York, averaging 11 points, 6 rebounds a game. Deuce Alexander, a 6'1 junior from Little Rock, Arkansas. And Omar Henry, he had the first bucket of the night, a 6'7 junior from St. Louis, Missouri, averaging 10 points, 5 rebounds. He led the way last night against Ave Maria with 17 points. The starters for Freed Hardeman, 34-1, spent much of the season as the number 1 ranked team in the NAIA national poll. Out of the Mid-South Conference, they went 34-1 overall, 12-0, perfect in the Mid-South. They won the regular season. They won the tournament title in the Mid-South. Their starting lineup tonight, Jalen Anderson, 6'2 senior out of Jackson, Tennessee. Caleb Thomas, a 6'3 freshman from Memphis, shooting 38% from beyond the arc. Rico Sane drives the bus. The point guard, 6'2 senior from Jackson, Tennessee, averaging 2.5 steals a game. Cam Hudson, a 6'7 redshirt freshman out of Memphis. And Phil Horton, keep an eye on him. 14 points, 6.5 rebounds a game, and he shoots at a 42% clip from beyond the arc. 6'6 graduate student for Drew Stutz in his 8th season. He is the reigning Mid-South Coach of the Year, and like I mentioned, he has taken this Freed Hardeman team to the national tournament in the last 5 seasons. So, shot clock fixed, 2-0 Langston after they score on the opening possession, and now we're ready to pick back up where we left off. Here comes Freed Hardeman, and Jalen Anderson will walk it up across the NAIA logo here at Municipal Auditorium. Horton drops down low on the baseline. Layup by Rico Sane is blown, and Langston boards. Back come the Langston Lions in those orange uniforms from Municipal. Antonio Lewis dribble handoff top the key to Orlando Thomas. He hands off Deuce Alexander. Will take a dribble right wing. Now he'll reverse and go back to the top of the key. Swing it back over to the left wing. Almost got it poked free. He did, and it rolls out of bounds, and it will stay with Langston. Both these teams very aggressive defensively. Freed Hardeman forces 12 steals a game. Langston comes up with 8 steals a game. I mentioned 2 of the best defenses in the nation by every metric. Trey Clark across the timeline, top of the key, gets to the right elbow. Runner in the lane is too strong, off the heel of the iron, and Freed Hardeman boards. Back they come the other way. Caleb Thomas across the timeline for Freed Hardeman. Picks up his dribble. His pass taken away. 2-on-1 break for Langston. Thomas leaves it off. Layup for Trey Clark, and it's 4-0 Langston out of the gate. 70 seconds in, and points off turnovers is going to be a key stat tonight. Jalen Anderson brings it across the timeline for Freed Hardeman. Gets it right back top of the key. Left side, Caleb Thomas. He'll fire a 3. That one's off the heel of the iron. Skying for the rebound, knocking it back and bounce to a teammate. And Langston will walk it up the other way. Good effort by Omar Henry to keep that ball from going in bounds and finding a teammate. Deuce Alexander across the timeline. Picks up his dribble, and his pass is tipped and taken away. Phil Horton on the run out. Picks up his dribble, left side of the lane. Horton spinning into contact, draws the foul, and he will go to the line. 18-15 to go first half. Phil Horton, 6'6 graduate student, like I mentioned, and the leading scorer for Freed Hardeman. 14 points a game. this year, 6.5 rebounds. He was first team all Mid-South, and his first free throw of the night is good. He had 15 in the 96-71 dismantling of Benedictine Mesa last night in the Fab Four. Horton takes 2 dribbles, spins it, and his second free throw rattles in. 4-2. That Langston lead back to 2, and now full court pressure applied by Freed-Hardeman. They love to do this. 18-13 and running in this first half. Just underway from Municipal Auditorium, the national championship in the NAIA. Langston across the timeline with Deuce Alexander, the Three Rivers College transfer. Alexander picks up a screen right side. Now he kicks into the corner. Lewis will pull a 3, rattles around the rim, no good. Fight for the rebound, battled for, and taken in by Rico Saint of Freed-Hardeman. And now back comes Anderson. Anderson right wing. Caleb Thomas took a probing dribble. Back out Anderson. 19 on the shot clock. Anderson top of the key. Now he picks up his dribble. Back outside. Caleb Thomas on the wing. Thomas playing a little back and forth with Phil Horton right side. Horton will put it on the deck. Spin back to his right. Right side of the lane. Follow away jumper is off the front of the iron. No good. And back comes Langston. 17:25 to go first half. Still a 4-2 lead early on. Defense is going to dictate this one, you would imagine. This pass out of the reach on the baseline of Jay Wilson. And it's going to be a turnover back over to Freed-Hardeman. Langston has already turned it over 2 times in the opening 2.5 minutes. And here comes a line change for Freed-Hardeman. This is what Drew Stutz does. He will rotate in 5 and 5 until he has a group that he likes. But especially in the first half of games, he makes full line changes. Right side, Louderbaugh picks up his dribble. Left side, Rodney Henderson now plays back and forth with DJ McIntyre. McIntyre finds Blake Dean left wing. 10 on the shot clock. Dean goes right back into the hands of Jamarcus Powell. Now right baseline, 3-ball on the way off the side of the rim. No good from DJ McIntyre. And Langston, another one and done. The defensive rebound cleaned up. Antonio Lewis for Langston brings it across the timeline. Now into the hands of Thomas. And left side, Cave. A little testing dribble now, 12 on the shot clock. Antonio Lewis, top of the key. Left side, Orlando Thomas dashing through the lane. Runner in the lane will bounce off the heel of the iron and fall. A 4-point Langston lead in this first half. Deuce Alexander. Left side, now DJ McIntyre just missed that 3 moments ago for Freed-Hardeman. Blake Dean gets it straight away. His 3 is nothing but nylon. And the first 3-ball of the night belongs to Freed-Hardeman. Cuts that lead back to 1. 16:01 to go till halftime. TJ Cave, the Ontario, Canada native, across the timeline for Langston, back the other way. Antonio Lewis gets right back to Cave. Cave, top of the key, drives right side of the lane. Tough layup around the rim and off. Fight for the rebound underneath. It is held on to by both Freed-Hardeman and Langston players, and now pushing and shoving on the ground. They're going to say possession over to Freed-Hardeman. A jump ball is the call. And now Chris Wright, the head coach of Langston in his 4th season. Couple of subs up off the bench for him, guarding this 1-point lead. Both teams struggling to shoot the ball early on. Turnovers also been a little bit of an issue early. Freed-Hardeman into the front court with Rodney Henderson. Henderson looking for a screen right side. Now he dumps to a rolling Jamarcus Powell, but a foul called as Powell got held up by Antonio Lewis of Langston. Freed-Hardeman will have an inbound underneath. They have not led. 15:27 to go first half. Top of the key, they inbound Jamarcus Powell. Left side, they swing it into the hands of Blake Dean. Top of the key, DJ McIntyre right back to Dean. He'll fire a 3 off the heel of the iron. No good. Long rebound taken by Langston. Langston cleaning the glass very well to begin this game. Orlando Thomas will walk it across the timeline. Thomas picks up a screen left side, kicks left baseline on the drive. McCovey, and he got forced out of bounds. Another turnover. as Freed Hardeman sprung a trap on that baseline. Turnovers, the theme early on in downtown Kansas City. We've got our first media timeout of the night. 6-5 Langston on Sports Radio 810 WHP. Back from Municipal Auditorium, a 6-5 lead for Langston University over Freed Hardeman in the early going. 15 minutes to go till halftime. Two of the best defensive teams in the nation. Freed Hardeman, and now they've got to blow the whistle because the Langston band has not stopped playing. And now they're telling the Langston band to stop. Yeah, can't play while the ball is in play, so they get the Langston band to pull the rug, and now we're ready to go. Again, Freed Hardeman has not led. They are 1 of 5 from the field to begin the game. Rico Sane knocks down into the post. Shot blocked. Phil Horton trying to turn over his shoulder, and back comes Langston. Another one-and-done trip for Freed Hardeman. They are now 1 for 6 to begin the game from the field. Right side McCoy, top of the key, Orlando Thomas takes the dribble handoff, uses a screen, tries to shake, left side of the lane, and he traveled after he hesitated to throw a pass to the left wing. Langston has started 3 of 6 from the field. However, that was their 5th turnover to begin the game. So Langston just struggling to get through a possession. Meanwhile, Freed Hardeman is hanging on to the basketball, but they haven't been able to hit a shot. Just 1 of 6 to begin the game. Cam Hudson up front for Freed Hardeman. 20 on that shot clock. Langston has fallen back into a zone. Jalen Anderson will drive left side of the lane. Runner is too strong, but a whistle and a foul call. A blocking call will put Jalen Anderson to the free throw line. Anderson averaging 7 points, 3 assists per game from his point guard spot. First free throw is pure for the point guard. On the season, Jalen Anderson is just a 62% free throw shooter. As a team, you wouldn't have guessed it, but the top team in the country for much of the season this year is sub 70% from the free throw line. Could become a storyline as this one goes along, but both free throws here are good, and Freed Hardeman is 4 of 4 from the foul line to begin the game. More full court pressure from Freed Hardeman. Alexander crosses over the timeline. And a whistle. And an offensive foul. We'll give it back to Freed Hardeman. More trouble for Langston. Another turnover in the early going. The Freed Hardeman defense relentless to begin this one. Jalen Anderson, top of the key. Rotates into the hands of Caleb Thomas. Now he gets it right back. Right side, Rico Sane rolling off a screen. Hands it right back to Jalen Anderson. Anderson knifing through the lane. A lot of contact as Anderson got shoved to the floor, and Anderson will walk right back to the free throw line. A clear change of strategy in that huddle during the media timeout for Freed Hardeman. Suddenly a shift in the last 2 possessions. They have attacked the paint, and it has resulted in Jalen Anderson getting to the free throw line both times. The first free throw good, the second free throw also pure. Freed Hardeman now up 9-6. They've got 6 of their points from the foul line. Across the timeline, and a reach-in foul as Deuce Alexander crossed over, and Anderson trying to pick the pocket, got a little bit too greedy. Side out of bounds right in front of the Freed Hardeman bench coming for Langston. Tough time getting it in. They're going to have to lob deep into the backcourt where Alexander will run it down for Langston. Across over the timeline. Crossing over near the Kansas City logo at midcourt. Jaden Williams now top of the key. 10 on that shot clock. Right side, Antonio Lewis. Lewis right back to Williams. 6 on that shot clock. Williams slashing through the lane, got it picked away.
And now Freed Hardeman off and running on the break. Phil Horton, top of the key, almost got that stripped away. Jalen Anderson now straight away into that zone of Langston. Anderson, extra pass, Rico Sane left wing. Almost lost his dribble. Back out Phil Horton, halfway through the shot clock. Horton will drive left side of the lane, drop the shoulder, lost the basketball, tries to save it, and he does. Back to a teammate, Hudson. Hudson, turnaround jump shot inside the foul line, no good. Whistle on the rebound is going to go against Freed Hardeman, and back over to Langston. That is going to be the first on Phil Horton, the leading scorer for Freed Hardeman. And a full line change again for Freed Hardeman. A fresh 5 on the floor. We've already seen this twice in this first half. 12:51 to go till halftime. 9-6 Freed Hardeman. Langston basketball. Antonio Lewis up top for Langston. Left wing dribble with the right hand. Up top, Jaden Williams now. Straight away. Williams back into the hands of Antonio Lewis, now right wing. Lewis backtracks, 7 on the shot clock. Langston taking their time. Lewis calling for a screen, top of the key. 4 on the shot clock, drives right side of the lane, splits defenders. He spins it off, but he'll go to the line. New Orleans native will walk his way to the foul line. One of several transfers on this Langston roster. That is how Chris Wright has built his teams in his 4 seasons here at Langston. First free throw off the side of the rim. It remains a 9-6 game. One more free throw coming up, and every starter tonight for Langston is a transfer, including a Division I transfer and a couple Division II transfers. Orlando Thomas will check back in after the second free throw is good. A 9-7 Freed Hardeman lead. Freed Hardeman basketball. Blake Dean walks across the timeline. Louderbaugh with it. And now left side, Rodney Henderson. Henderson puts it on the deck, spins left side of the lane, puts up a floater well short. An air ball is boarded by Langston. Back they come. Freed Hardeman wanted a foul. They did not get it. Alexander back the other way for Langston. Jaden Williams, his pass taken away by Powell. And now Powell throws it back court. A discrepancy as one ref thinks it is a backcourt, the other says it's not. And they're going to call a reach and foul instead. Well, now a longer discussion taking place, and now they will. Now hold on. Drew Stutz asking for an explanation, and now they will call it an over and back instead of the foul. So it will be Langston basketball, 11:55 to go first half, down 9-7. They inbound into the backcourt with Alexander. Will walk it across the timeline. Trey Clark, left side of the lane, trying to carve out space, and now he spins back to the right side of the lane, kicks into the corner. Williams, he'll fire a 3 and connects. And Langston leads 10-9. DJ McIntyre tries to dump baseline. Pass got tipped out of bounds, and it will stay with Freed Hardeman underneath their own basket. 11:29 to go till halftime from Municipal Auditorium. Excellent crowd on hand. Again, a large contingent made the trip from Tennessee as well as Langston, Oklahoma tonight. Up top, they inbound Jamarcus Powell. Dribble handoff, Blake Dean up top. Asks for a screen, gets it. Now dumps back to Jamarcus Powell at the foul line, and a reach-in is going to be called. Already the 5th foul on Langston in this first half. 11:20 to go till halftime. 3 fouls against Freed Hardeman if you're keeping track at home. Another inbounds, and they reset that shot clock to 20. McIntyre, they get it to him in the corner. Up front, they rotate into the hands of Rodney Henderson near the NAIA logo. 10 on that shot clock. He'll spin left side of the lane. Pull up jump shot will rattle in. Shooter's touch off the heel of the iron for Henderson. A seesaw opening to this one. Freed Hardeman back in the lead, 11-10. Alexander calls for a screen, top of the key, and a moving screen at that. We'll give it back to Freed Hardeman. Trey Clark came to the top of the key, never got set. Slid his feet into the contact, and the ref was all over it. Another turnover for Langston in this first half, and Freed Hardeman with a 1-point lead and the basketball. Top of the key, Jamarcus Powell, left side, DJ McIntyre. McIntyre crosses over. And now his dribble got poked away, but Freed Hardeman all over it. Back into the hands of McIntyre, straight away three, no good, off the side of the rim. Shooting struggles continue for Freed Hardeman in this first half, however, still a 1-point lead nearly halfway through this first half. Langston back the other way. Alexander left side picks up his dribble near the baseline. Alexander gets rid of it, top of the key, Orlando Thomas. Thomas driving through the lane, lost his footing, and he is bailed out with a whistle. You can hear the Freed Hardeman fans over my shoulder saying Orlando Thomas fell, and they might have an argument. It will stay underneath with Langston. 10:18 to go first half. And they put 20 on that shot clock. They inbound to Jay Wilson, left wing. Wilson, a right-hand dribble. And now top of the key into the hands of Cave. Cave calling off a teammate, and now hands to Orlando Thomas straight away. Orlando Thomas dribbled it off his knee, and a turnover. Freed Hardeman back the other way, 3-on-2. McIntyre sidesteps one, right-hand layup, no, but he got fouled, and he will go back to the line. Exactly 10 to go till halftime in downtown Kansas City. Back and forth in the rematch of 2 years ago. Freed Hardeman, a 1-point lead. Free throws on the other side of this break on Sports Radio 810.